Looking at the Bitcoin miner reserve here today, guys, as you can see here on this chart, it has been pretty up and down, quite a lot of sideways action coming through. But what we have seen over the last sort of month or so is the miners have been drastically selling into every single Bitcoin pump. This is very, very interesting stuff because we're coming down to a very crucial level of support on this chart. Let me explain. As you can see, June the 20th, we came down, we set a low of around 1,837,009, and then we tested that level of support later on in September at around 18396, again in the middle of September, 18396 again, and we're coming right back down to these levels, okay? We got to 18398 most recently on the 17th of November, the end of last week. Now, right now, for this week, we're probably going to actually see a bit more of a sell-off from these miners to come down and really test these levels of support. If that is going to happen, guys, then we're going to see this price come down to around, or this figure come down to around 18396, as you have seen before, or maybe even to this level of support at 18379, okay? What does that mean for Bitcoin here? If we are going to see the continuation of this trend here for the miner reserves, it means for Bitcoin, we're actually going to see a pullback, okay? We're going to see a pullback, probably, I'm not sure how big it's going to be, but if we're looking at huge movements right now, the most recent pullbacks that we have seen have consisted of around 6, 5, 6, 7%, okay? So if we are looking at the two most recent moves for Bitcoin. So if we are going to see a pullback here, then we need to be looking. We need to be really looking at how we can be profiting from this lucrative potential move. Let me get rid of some indicators quickly and go into this chart pattern that we have got here. We've got an upward sloping parallel channel, guys. Upward sloping parallel channel tends to usually break to the downside. So we're going to be taking a measure move like so, and this is going to be the big trade that we're looking for. It's going to consist of around... It's going to consist of around 7.5% there, so pretty big. Are we going to be going straight for 7.5%? Probably not. We're going to be staggering our take profits as we go down and looking for that perfect entry and capitalizing on that move. But in terms of the short term, the micro right now for Bitcoin, let's jump back to the end of last week where I did the video and said, look, there is going to be a potential 1% bounce here to take advantage of. That did happen. Very, very nice stuff indeed. We did discuss a one-to-one trade there, and the one-to-one trade held up very nicely indeed. And then we just saw momentum coming through from that. So let's get rid of that right now and let's talk about where we are today. Let's talk about where we are and how we can be making money from these scenarios, guys. So as you can see here, we do have the trend line coming up. Trend line coming up like so, and the support has been formed multiple times along the line that we were referencing last week. Now, we did actually break that line, okay? We broke that level of support coming through from here, and we've set a new level of support in correlation with this this low that we set previously, that we were just on the 14th of November, right, that we were discussing last week. Now, we have seen bullish momentum from there, so that gives us another trend line to be working from, okay? And the gap that you can see that we have created is looking like so. So what I would be looking for here for a nice little scalp for Bitcoin, if we are going to be using a lot more indicators for our TA here, you can see the volume weighted ATR bands here. They're collided into a big pool. We've got the 15-minute, we've got the 5-minute, and we've got the 30-minute. This usually acts as a very strong level of resistance, guys. You can see the resistance that we have seen off these bad boys multiple times here, getting absolutely slammed down continuously. So this tells us when they collide together like so, the resistance is going to be stronger, okay? We have seen one instance of that right now already. But likely as us coming up and testing this area again, it's quite likely off this level of support here that we were referencing last week, and then probably seeing a bit more downside. So if we're going to be using the miner's reserve and these volume weighted ATR bands to estimate where we could be going or some sort of scalp position that we could be looking for today, it's going to probably be the gap between these trend lines, something along the lines of this, right? In terms of percentages that we could be looking for here, it's gonna probably be around a 1% move, guys. Now, what do I really want to see here? I want to see us have resistance off this area, break this upwards sloping support line, and also break the support of the volume weighted ATR band on the 5-minute. And then this gives us essentially a freedom period between volume weighted ATR bands where the price could literally just fall, okay? And obviously, we do have that trend line that we were referencing previously, and that's going to consist up at around 36,800. So the move that I'm sort of looking for here is the volume weighted ATR band to come up, us to kind of either test up here and come back down to this trend line, and then the break between these areas here. I'm going to be trading the break between these areas and hopefully getting a nice little short position coming through from there. Now, in reference to the RSI here on the short-term time frame, guys, we will be going into the long term, so make sure you stick with me here. And also, guys, if you are looking for a free trading strategy, there's a link to a free webinar in the description, so make sure you can go check that out, because I'm trading that strategy literally every single day, and it's absolutely amazing, making me really, really good money as well there. So yeah, if you want a free strategy, link is in the description. Now, talking about the RSI quickly here, guys, you can see that we do have this upward sloping trend line as well, okay? You can see the support that we have gained on this area multiple times here. So if we do see a fall for the price of Bitcoin, we're likely to see a bounce of support at this area here, around 50.9, okay? If that is going to happen, that's probably going to be exactly where our take profit will be. If not, we're going to have a couple of take profits staggered in throughout there, just in case we reverse, just in case we reverse too early, and we're basically making sure that we're taking profit all the way along here. In terms of stop loss for this position, guys, I'm probably going to be looking at a 1-to-1 trade. I am favoring my 1-to-1s at the moment, and when I say 1-to-1, guys, I mean a 1% risk, and well, not a 1% risk on the asset, a 1% risk on your trade. Okay, so if we're going for a take profit, and it's going to be a take profit on the bottom of this trend line here, depending on where we break, let's put it there for simplicity's sake there, we're basically going to be taking this and we're going to be doing a 1-to-1. So this basically means 1% either side that we're going for here, and yeah, this is going to be a 1-to-1 trade, guys. So yeah, it's not going to be too bad. Hopefully we can get it. If not, if we don't get a very good break of this volume weighted ATR band, and this does essentially level out, all we're going to be doing is using that for a take profit. And again, guys, horizontal resistance points coming through as well that we need to keep an eye on. Let me get a little line in there for you guys. You can see 39,894. So you can see it's all pretty much lining up for this point here. So ideally, we want this to be like something like this, right? Excuse me. And then it lines up with the RSI, it lines up with this horizontal here, it lines up with this upward sloping support lines, it lines up with the volume weighted ATR bands. It seems like it's going to be a very clean position for us to take for a scalp today. So that's sort of what I'm looking for today, guys. Make sure you check back tomorrow for the result of this. Hopefully we can see a very nice trade coming in if we do get into it there. Moving on to the midterm time frame here for Bitcoin. I did cover this very briefly at the start of the video, but this is the move that I'm looking for, this upward sloping parallel channel to come down here. I want to see us come down and absolutely slam it for Bitcoin, see that pullback come through, and looking for around that 7.5%, looking pretty good. In terms of indicators for this, guys, we can use the CW bands right now. We do have, this is a slightly lagging indicator, but it does work really, really well here. As you can see, very, very good levels of support. This this transparent-ish line here can change as we go. So, so we can't be using that for support right away. But this, it's a good indication because sometimes it does hold up really, really nicely. Okay, so we are going to be using that to our favor, and it does give us a good indication of where support and resistance could be using this, kind of like the Bollinger Bands or something like that, right? So now you've got the volume weighted ATR bands as well, guys. If we are looking at them in terms of the more macro time frames here, the 4-hour, the 60-minute, well, not the 60-minute, but the daily, you can see that we do have very strong levels of support on the top side, resistance on the top side. So again, the gap between these bad boys is pretty big now, okay? It's getting pretty big, so that means we've got a lot of playroom in this area. A lot of playroom in this area, so there is going to be trades coming through, and that's why I've drawn in this symmetrical triangle chart pattern with the potential of a measure move to the downside here, and that's simply referencing the miners reserve that we were just talking about. Also, guys, I do want to just reference the long liquidations as well, because the long liquidations right now, you can see over the past few days, they've been very, very, very low. I think nearly the lowest they've been in a month or so. So this, this essentially means we're probably going to see some downside to liquidate some longs, okay? So, so yeah, that's definitely something that we need to take into consideration as well there, guys. Bloody hair's falling everywhere. Not good, going bold by the day. So yeah, definitely something we need to take into consideration as well there, guys, because the whales will be playing against this because they want to liquidate more long positions, right? So that's sort of what I'm looking for there if we are going to see some short action coming down. In terms of a measure move, I've drawn it in because it could be looking something along the lines of this, but at the moment this is still speculative, guys. It's not written in the stars just yet. We could be doing a measure move something along the lines of this, but for me, bit too greedy. Won't be going for something like that because, as you can see, way too greedy. I mean, you could do it and then just go for like a take profit of around 2% and even stagger your take profits as you go there, guys. That is something that you can be doing, But for right now, it is going to be a small position, so I'm probably just going to be going maybe even a 2-to-1 trade or something along the lines of that, right? So ideally what I want here is going to be a measure move, something along the lines of this, and then it's going to line up pretty perfectly, pretty sexily, down to this sort of area around here. So that's sort of what I'm looking for here for the midterm time frame here, guys, and that's going to be around 2.5% on the table to be taken. You know why we're here. We're here to make money. Just quickly, guys, if you are looking for a Telegram group, make sure you jump down to the description. There is going to be a link to the cryptochesterg community, the CC gang out there. We've got some really good traders in there, been going for like around 2 years or so. So make sure you jump down to that free Telegram group for a community that you can talk to and have a good time. And there's no scammers or anything in there, guys. We have like, I think maybe 10 or 20 mods, just completely sniping anyone that comes in that is here to shill anything. So yeah, it's a really good chat. So if you want to go check that out, link is in the description. Moving on to the the macro time frame here for Bitcoin, because this is a very crucial point. Last week we were talking about this bull market barrier, guys. The bull market barrier, very crucial to determine what market we're essentially in. You can see the bullish momentum coming up from this lovely bull market. Yeah, lovely bull market here. You can see we've got a nice blue. We've got a nice blue area on the bull market barrier. You can see where we are right now. We're pretty much touching that zone, okay? We're pretty much touching that zone, and that essentially means we want to be finding support. If we can find support on this bad boy, then it's going to be very good indeed. We have had 1 candle body close, 2 candle body closes just above this area now. I'm going for number 3 for the week here. That would be absolutely ideal, but let's start firstly on the daily. We need to get another daily candle body close above 36,400 if we can. The momentum to the upside is going to be looking ever so nice. It's going to be looking better, right? It's going to be looking better. So yeah, ideally on the macro here, we want to close above 36,400. That's sort of what we're looking for today. If that does happen, great stuff. Probably going to see some bullish momentum to start the beginning of this week. Moving on to altcoins, guys. Let's see where the altcoin market is at today. You've got NEAR up around 15%, SNX up around 20%. You've got HBAR 5.5% as well. Doge climbing a little bit, around 3%. Overall, sentiment looking pretty bullish right now, looking pretty green, looking really good to start the week here for crypto. Wonder how it's going to go. If Bitcoin dumps, guys, with the miner reserves coming down a bit as well, if that is going to happen, then we are probably going to see a reaction for the altcoins, okay? So make sure you adjust yourselves in compliance in relation to this, okay? But yeah, that's going to be it from that. Fear and Greed Index, guys, at around 69%, absolute 69. Pretty good stuff there. So it does show a bit greedy in the market, okay? So make sure you take into consideration that the whales will be looking at that as well, and they're probably going to see probably going to sell off into the greed, okay? And that does give us another inclination that we are going to be coming down here for today. Over the next couple of days, it does look pretty bearish, okay? But hey, it's a bull market. We are looking pretty good, so so don't hang yourself out to dry just yet. There is plenty more bullish momentum in the wallet for us to fly to the goddamn moon, okay? So yeah, I'm not bearish. I'm bearish for the day because I'm looking for short positions, but overall really bullish for Bitcoin, looking really good. But yeah, that's gonna be it from me, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. Do appreciate it. I'm uploading every single weekday now, Monday to Friday, maybe even a little weekend upload as well. So make sure you check out the channel and turn the notification bells on so you never miss an upload, guys. But yeah, that's gonna be it from me. Peace out. Goodbye from me, cryptochesterg.